So, like, when we talk about the foods to like avoid because they're pesticide loaded and how you should eat
Mhm,
organics, but like
mhm.
tomatoes, hot peppers, things like that. But then some of those same products are also known to be high in lectins. So it feels like, is it, they're still high in lectins, even though they're organic, right? So
Yes.
should they still be avoided completely, regardless of being organic, is my point or question.
Yeah, the answer is it depends on the person. So um, the lectins we can't get rid of. The organic, the toxins we can do better with by doing the organic and non-GMO and all that stuff. And you want to do your best. Obviously, there's limitations like maybe access to organic or pricing and stuff. So the list of the dirty dozen or whatever number they're up to now is like, okay, if you absolutely have to choose between this or that, choose the thinner skinned one as organic versus the thick skinned or rind because the thinner skinned ones tend to absorb more of the toxins, etc. Um, so so that's kind of how to look at it there. From the lectin standpoint, Dr. Gundry's book and the plant paradox and all his work has done he's done a lot of work to get the lectin idea out there. And that may or may not matter. I think a lot of people are avoiding lectins that don't necessarily need to. But then also avoiding lectins could be a more important part of many people's care plans if we know specifically what they're dealing with. So there's a textbook on food lectins and body interactions, and they break it down that like certain lectins bind certain body proteins more strongly than others. So, for example, um, wheat, or excuse me, tomato is one that will bind, as well as spinach will bind a protein called aquaporin 4, which is a blood-brain barrier protein and controls blood-brain barrier integrity and access of water into the brain and stuff. And so if someone's got a neuroinflammatory disease like neuromyelitis optica, which is similar to MS, and they're eating tomatoes and spinach, that might not, those would be lectins we'd want to avoid for them because we don't want those to bind to the blood-brain barrier, make it more leaky, drive neuroinflammation, flare their disease process, right? But if you and
Okay.
I don't have that, then we may not necessarily have to avoid tomatoes and spinach.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
And Jennifer, can I share a little bit about you?
Absolutely.
And then you can correct me if I miss anything.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
so when Jennifer came, she's the one who said 4 years ago she'd be on a different path if she hadn't found me 4 years ago. She had MS diagnosis and hadn't driven or read in months because she couldn't see out of her left eye because of pain and part of the what was believed to be the MS process. And she was actually a study participant in a Dr. Terry Wall study, who's also a famous writer like Dr. Gundry and other authors, big time authors. So she wrote the Walls Protocol because she had MS herself and went plant only, and she went from a wheelchair to walking to now she tours and speaks and all that. So MS patients who see her book, everyone wants to do the Walls Protocol. Some get better, some get worse, some stay the same. What the heck? Jennifer was in the study; she didn't get better, if I remember correctly, right, Jen?
My testing, I did improve, but it wasn't like not everything improved. Certain things would mostly because I was just eating better. Well, that's a given. So yeah, but
But
nothing
yeah,
significant.
but MS and vision wise,
No. Oh, no, 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 no.
okay, and that I mean that would be the reason you'd be doing it as
Yep.
someone with MS.
Yep.
So so she didn't improve. Well, why not? Well, again, maybe because Dr. Wall's plant only protocol has a lot of lectins in it. And in Jen's case, maybe that, if she's doing a lot of tomatoes and spinach and other lectins that cross-react with the aquaporin 4, maybe that healthy diet for MS maybe wasn't for her puzzle. Make sense, Chris? So again,
It
that
does. Yeah. I mean,
that individualized and specific, piece is the key. Yes, any diet can help a lot of people, but also any diet could potentially hurt a lot of people. And so it's matching it to the individual.